Hi, I'm Rex with Pure Choice Motorsports. Today I'm going to show you how to crimp a Pure Stealth reduced barrier fitting onto our new Pure Stealth reduced barrier AC hose. So in front of me today I have three examples of reduced barrier hose. This is a number 6, a number 8, and a number 10. You'll find all three sizes on a normal air conditioning installation. The 6 and the 8 are the high pressure side. The number 10 is the suction side. And then I have the exact same hose in our Pure Stealth line where we have applied a nylon braid over top of the hose. One of the reasons we did this, if you'll notice, these three hoses don't look the same. They're all made by the same manufacturer, but the texture of the hose is dramatically different. So one of the reasons that we developed the Pure Stealth line is so that we can make the hoses match. And so I have a black Pure Stealth reduced barrier AC hose in my hand. Today we're going to install a number 10 fitting. So this is our number 10 fitting just as it comes in your kit. And I'm going to open it to show you what all is inside. We have the number 10 Pure Stealth AC reduced barrier 45-degree hose end, and it comes with this little piece of cloth. So we're going to use both of those pieces today. I'll discard my trash. And first thing we need to do is cut that hose to the correct length. I'm going to take a small section of masking tape. This is our number 10 fitting, so this is the number 10 hose. I'm going to make one nice tight wrap around the hose. Use a ratcheting PVC cutter to cut that hose. There I have just one little straggler. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that braid nice and straight like so. I'll discard the excess, and then I'm going to remove my tape from the hose. Next step is to put that fitting on the hose. I'm going to carefully line it up, get the fitting started in the hose, and I'm just going to shove it on as far as I can possibly get it. I'm rotating the hose and the fitting simultaneously to get it to slide together. Number 10 is the most difficult to slide together. 6 and 8 are smaller, so there's less friction. And on every fitting, there's a little witness hole. And I can look in that witness hole and I can see the end of my hose. That tells me that my hose is inserted all the way into the barrel of the fitting. So good news, now I'm ready to crimp. Before I crimp, I'm concerned somewhat with clocking the fitting. This fitting needs to be headed in the right direction, especially if I have another angled fitting on this end of the hose. If I have a straight fitting on this end of the hose, clocking is not as relevant, but I do want this hose to end up pointing in the correct direction. So before I crimp it, I'm going to align it in the direction that it ultimately needs to go. Next step, I'm going to take this piece of cloth that's included with every fitting. I'm going to wrap it gently around the barrel of the fitting, and I'm going to cut it just so that it's long enough to overlap itself. Like so. I'm going to take a small, very short piece of masking tape. I'm going to tape that cloth to itself. This is actually the tricky part, so that it stays on the hose like so. And I'm going to kind of make sure that it's centered on that barrel so that I have roughly an equal amount of barrel here and on this side of the cloth. Now I'm ready for my crimper. So in this case, I'm using Vintage Air's handheld hydraulic crimper, and you need to make sure you have the reduced barrier dies. This is reduced barrier hose and reduced barrier fittings. So this particular kit includes the standard barrier dies as well as the reduced barrier dies. This hose end is a number 10, so I'm looking for number 10 reduced barrier dies. These are going to be the orange ones. I'm going to open up my crimper. I'm going to install the dies in the crimper like so, snap them into place. and my dies are inserted in the crimper. I'm going to unscrew the handle a little bit to give myself some slack here between the two jaws, and I'm going to put the fitting in the jaws of the crimper like so. And again, I'm trying to center that so that I have roughly the same amount of barrel on this side of the die as I do on this side of the die. So I'm pretty well centered in there. I'm going to pin my jaws together like so. I'm going to tighten up my handle, and I still have a little bit of slack in there, so this is where I'm going to make the final adjustment to make sure that the barrel of my fitting is centered in the dies. And it looks like we're good to go. I'm going to tighten up the knob, and I'm just going to crimp this fitting. I'm going to crimp it until the two jaws pieces come together right here, and that's as far as it can go. So the bottom jaw is touching the upper jaw. I'm going to release the hydraulic pressure, open up my crimping tool, pull out the fitting, and you can see that I've made little indentations in that piece of cloth. The purpose of the piece of cloth is, and I'll pull this off so that you can see, the crimping process does not damage the coating on the fitting, but without that piece of cloth, what tends to happen is the amount of pressure that we're applying to that fitting, sometimes we'll want to polish the little dimples inside down at the bottom of the crimp. So we use that just to minimize that that polishing process. There's a little piece of that cloth that's actually stuck. Maybe it's a little piece of masking tape. I can dig that out. There we go. Get that cleaned out of there. Masking tape will tend to be difficult to get out of those little dimples, but there we go. So that's a completed, finished, crimped, Pure Stealth number 10 AC hose with a number 10 Pure Stealth 45-degree fitting ready to install on the car. Again, be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and check back for more videos in the future.